Hey guys, M13 here. I'm doing my tour. This is a public video. Topic of the video is scooters are for fags, and I want to talk about all the hate scooters get. First off, I understand it because I started off on motorcycles, and when I first moved to Taiwan, I was borrowing someone's scooter to get around, and within like a few days I crashed it, and I was angry. I was like, I'm like, if that was a motorcycle, it wouldn't have crashed, and which is probably true. And I was just, I'm like, these stupid things, blah blah blah. And then I was like determined to like not get a scooter. Like, so when I first got here, I borrowed a scooter, I crashed it, and I was just like, scooters suck. And then I was asking around about an actual motorcycle, and I got a 150cc two-stroke, and it was a good motorcycle, very cool. But it was quick because it was a two-stroke, and so I was riding that thing for years, and I never got another scooter because I hated them, and and when I saw other foreigners that were riding scooters, I'm like, well, why don't you get a motorcycle, but then there was this girl who had a pink scooter, and she was going back to America, and someone was supposed to buy it off of her, but the last minute they flaked out on the deal, and so she said to me, she's like, give me $100, I'll give you the scooter, I gotta leave, I can't use it. So I'm like, oh, okay, worst case scenario, I can sell it to someone else for 200 or whatever. So I gave her the $100, and then I started using it because I have a dog. I decided, okay, well, I can put my dog on this thing, I realized. So then I started taking my dog out on the scooter, and then I realized, I can fit a lot of shit in the seat. So then I was using it for shopping, and then I was using it for the dog, and then and then like months later, I realized I was using the scooter more than my motorcycle, and it was just a little 50cc scooter, and I was using it more than my 152 stroke, which is the equivalent of 300cc power-wise, roughly. So yeah, so then I was like, whoa. And then I was at the motorcycle shop one day, and they had a new motorcycle that had just come in. It was a brand new type of, it was a new scooter, a new model of scooter, and the model was the Cygnus. It's a very popular scooter right now, but back when I first bought it, like maybe 7-8 years ago, it had just came out, and I bought it like the first month and I looked at it, and I'm like, this scooter doesn't really look like a scooter. It looks kind of like a motorcycle from the front, and it's cool looking. So I bought myself one because I thought, I'm riding scooters all the time now anyways, I might as well have a cool one instead of this little pink one I was riding. So I bought myself a 125 Cygnus, and yeah, and then I was modding it and putting on like race suspension and better brakes and this and that and the other, and I was having a lot of fun on it. And it's interesting because some people think of scooters as just a weaker version or a lesser version of motorcycles, kind of like, yeah, if you can't ride a motorcycle, go get a scooter because it's the same thing but just less. Totally untrue, as many of people who have done my tours will tell you, because I get guys who come out here and they're like, they ride motorcycles all the time and they're quick on a motorcycle. You put them on a scooter and they can barely ride because it's different. It's an altogether different vehicle. It's like comparing a dirt bike to a Harley. Like, it's just because you can ride a dirt bike doesn't mean you can get on a Harley and ride well. Keyword there is well. Or vice versa, especially with dirt bikes. If you're going from or going from a sports bike to a dirt bike, that's a better example, because Harleys don't require a lot of skill. Sorry guys. But yeah, like going from a sport bike on a racetrack to a dirt bike on the dirt. Like, they're both motorcycles, but just because you can do one doesn't mean you can do the other, and because they're so different sets of skill. Very similar to how scooters are. So if you have a motorcycle, you shouldn't be like, oh, I don't need a scooter because I have a motorcycle. Why would I? Because it's like, that would be like someone with a sports bike who rides track saying, I don't need a dirt bike to ride on the dirt. I've already got a sport bike to ride on the racetrack. Idiot, they're two totally different things. Yeah, so saying the same thing about I don't want to ride a scooter because I've already got a motorbike, it's the same kind of thing. They're two very different experiences. Like if I ride my scooter all week long, I'll miss my motorcycle. If I ride my motorcycle for a few days, I'll miss my scooter. It's like two very different and two very enjoyable experiences. So all these idiots out there, and I was one of them at one point in my life, that think that a scooter is just like, it's like a motorcycle except less so. You're wrong. You're very wrong. We have a motorcycle. We have a 200, like all these scooters are, the biggest scooter here is 180 and the rest are about 150. We have a 250cc motorcycle, just like the Ninja 250, you know, that size. And every tour I say, who wants a 250 motorcycle? And every tour someone says, or a few people say, I do. And every single tour they regret it. Every single tour, at some point they'll like swap with someone else and be like, yeah, I wish I'd taken the scooter. So, you know, it's frustrating when I talk about scooters or something and somebody makes a comment like, yeah, scooters for fags, hey, you guys leave your balls at the hotel before you get on your scooters. It's like, first of all, you probably don't even ride, fucking loser. Second of all, if you do ride, I know about 100 different guys that could hop on their scooters and kick your motorcycle's ass. And now you're thinking, I drive a 1000 GSXR. How could your 150cc scooter beat my GSXR? And the answer is easily. If it's in the mountains, if it's on a curvy road, these things will carve up the mountains faster than any motorcycle. Well, I'm exaggerating a little. If you're fucking Valentino Rossi, then yeah, even on the motorcycle you're gonna have the advantage. But you know, anything short of that, a skilled rider on a scooter can do insane things. And it takes more balls, because in some ways they are easier to crash. In some ways, because a motorcycle has larger tires, so they can handle bumps better. They can handle like debris on the road and shit. Like a motorcycle could ride over some wood on the road, but maybe the scooter, if it hit the same piece of wood, it might crash. So in some ways, you know, a motorcycle is easier to ride than a scooter, and so in some ways, you know, you could say the opposite is true. Oh, you ride a motorcycle because you don't have enough skill to ride a scooter fast. Anyways, yeah, I hate the hate. I hate the hate. And then you got guys who, you know, take them on the track and they fly around that track like nothing. Like grease lightning. Go grease lightning, really gonna punch. Go grease lightning, go. Yeah, and if you're going touring, like if you wanted to tour, any type of touring, scooters is superior, man. You're not constantly shifting. You don't have to work the clutch. All you got to do is one throttle hand. If you have a cruise control on this, you can just like, you know, you just off the line. The light goes green. You can hit cruise control, take you back up to 100 or whatever it is you're doing, and you can just like fold your arms and go all the way from 0 to 100 because you don't have to shift gears. There's no clutch. You know, it's much more practical. And it's more maneuverable, especially in traffic. That's another thing too. Like, I don't care what kind of motorcycle you have. You can have a fucking Ducati 1198 and I'll still kick your ass if there's traffic, because there's nothing you can do in traffic. Anyways, yep, that's the video.
A 1000cc GSXR has 6 gears. You know what else has 6 gears? My bicycle. Yeah, boy! That's how I roll.